everyone. We are the group 1 and we are reporting about kinematics and projectile motion and etc. So before we start, we would like to introduce ourselves and I'm Omer Cortez.
And I'm John Polet Creston.
I'm Justin Dave Arson Scout.
I'm JP Rodriguez. I'm Elijah Villasilio.
I'm Daniel Paliki.
I'm Krishay Montalet. I'm Teresa Rosco. I'm David Mr. I'm Nina Nicolai. Denise Panis.
And we are Group 1.
Alright! Now, before we start, next page. So, ito yung mga agenda namin. Introduction, kinematics, two-dimensional motion, three-dimensional motion, projectile motion, circular motion, and relative velocity.
Now before we start, we would actually like to do icebreaker for everyone. So you can actually enjoy our
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah. So,
Are you ready, everyone? So, for our first question,
Wait, ang makakasagot, may
Ken.
Coco. May Kenzie.
Perfect.
Lalo, labo na.
Kenzie.
dalawa.
So, first question. Tutor. Basahin mo na yung question.
Sorry. What is the name of the protected layer around the Earth that absorbs most of the sun's harmful ultraviolet or UV radiation? Hint, it starts with the letter O.
Okay, let's see kung tama ba siya.
Tama!
Lima.
5 piso isa.
Okay, for the next question, we have okay, then.
Which planet in our solar system is famous for its large, easily visible rays? Saturn.
Let's see.
Saturn nga ba?
For $1 million.
Yes!
Thank you po.
Very good, everyone.
Okay,
Now for the next
next.
question. Okay, I'll read the question first, and then the first one to raise their hands gets the. For the third question. Okay, what is the process called when a liquid turns into a gas? Okay, Phoenix, I saw your hand first.
Evaporation.
Is it right? Yes. For the next question, we have number 4. True or false? Sound travels faster in water than it does in air.
Oh my God.
Michael, you have an answer?
Okay, Nati.
Let's see if it's right. True. Now there is explanation on the explanation on why sound travels faster in water than it does in air, because sound travels by a medium, and the medium, the sound bounces back, and while it's bouncing, it's generating more speed as it bounces.
Alright.
For our next question.
Wala na yun.
Okay guys, before we start, we would actually like you to all listen to us and answer answer our question truthfully, hopefully, and that's all.
Okay, let's start.
For our introduction, we have the kinematics. Now, our first topic for today is the horizontal and vertical motion, or the one dimension. The motion of an object in a vertical and horizontal direction is a very, very simple topic. First topic in our lesson today. Next. Okay, for our first example of a horizontal and a vertical, or 1D, one-dimensional motion, we have this. You walk 10 kilometers north, followed by another 5 kilometers. What is your overall displacement? Now, as you can see, you walk north for 10 kilometers upward or north, and then it is followed by 5 kilometers. That's very easy. Very easy to understand. And again, you walk 10 kilometers north and suddenly went south for 5 kilometers. What is your overall displacement? Now you walk 10 kilometers north and you walk back to south for 5 kilometers. It would look like this. There. So now your overall displacement is not 10 kilometers but 5 kilometers instead. Do you follow? Now that the basic stuff is gone, let's proceed to the, okay. This is actually one of the most important rules in physics or in other dimensional motion, etc. This is the side of a partition plane. Now if you're going to the left side, it will always be negative. Well, if you're going in the right side, it will always be positive. And that also accounts for the vertical motion. Okay, so here are the words that you need to write down. And remember, because it will be very important for next topic.
Sabihin niyo pag okay na.
Volcan lab.
Good stuff.
Okay. Also remember that the acceleration is always constant. It will never change, as opposed to the other ones, which can be modified or changed by other factors. And this, you need to remember this, guys. Velocity, the initial velocity or the velocity at the origin are almost the same. They always equal to initial velocity, and for the subscript of t and f, they equal to final velocity as well. And remember the x. And this also applies to the distance magnitudes, like distance displacements. Now these are the formulas that we will use in our first topic. Okay. So the first formula you see there is the speed is equal to distance and time, which is the most basic formula we have in physics, and the rest are not so basic. But you will learn how to use them properly, and it will be now basic for you. Are you done writing? Ah. Everyone done? Okay, now let's move on to our. Oh, I skip that. There. Okay, for our first example, my favorite car is accelerating through the woods at 2.5 meters squared. 2.5 meter per second squared. After being at rest at the start, what is the velocity if the time is equal to 10 seconds? And how far will you travel? Now, as you can see, we are given a problem. Okay, this part will be explained by our fellow member.
Ang given po natin ay initial velocity is equals to 2.5 meter per second squared. And ang time po natin ay 10 seconds. And sa solving number 1, ang formula po na gagamitin natin ay initial final velocity is equals to initial velocity plus acceleration time. Lalagay po muna tayo ng 0 since ang paghawak po natin sa bola ay wala pa po siyang velocity. Nasa kamay pa po natin yung bola. Ay, yung kotse. Yung kotse po, hindi pa po kasi siya ma-under. So, yung velocity po niya is 0 pa lang. Plus, yung initial velocity po natin is 2.5 meter per second times 10 seconds. Ibababa po natin yung 0 plus i-times po natin itong dalawa. I-times po natin itong dalawa. Ang magiging sagot po is 25 meter per second. Meter per second. Plus 0 plus 25 meter per second is 25 meter per second. Yun lang po yung pinaka-answer sa final velocity. Next. Gets mo? Ha? Ano? Andyan lang daw, sabi ni Chris. Ano ba ito?
Let me explain to you. Ano yung tanong mo ulit? Sa S. So may ginawa may square po dito. Yung square po na yan, nag-axis po siya as dalawang S po.
Tama.
Dalawang S, di ba? May S na dito. So cancel na yan. Cancel na rin ito. Dito na S. And actually, I would like to correct our fellow member. First of all, it is not the initial velocity, but the initial acceleration.
Nag-even pa lang yun. Ah, okay. Tapos sa pangalawa pong solving, ang formula po natin is final distance is equal to initial distance plus muna natin yung 10 seconds squared. Tapos i-compute po natin itong 1/2 times 2.5 meter per second squared. Ang magiging sagot po natin ay 2.5 meter per second. Tapos, ang huli po, ito naman po yung i-square natin. 10 squared is 100 times 2.5 meter per second squared. Meter per second is equals to 25 meter per second.
Di ba ikaw? Okay, after you solve the final velocity, we will now search the distance of how far you traveled. Now, our equation for that is oops. Final distance is equal to initial distance plus the initial velocity multiplied by time plus 1/2 multiplied by acceleration and the distance. Or I mean the time. Sorry. Squared. So now we will now substitute our given numbers and we will put it in this equation. So the final distance is equal to the initial distance plus initial velocity multiplied by time. Now, our initial velocity and our initial distance isn't specified and it is not given to us. So we can assume that they are 0. Why? Because our initial velocity, our question states that at the start, the car is in a state of rest. So it is not moving. So there is no velocity to be found. So 0 plus 0 multiplied by time is 0 still. So 0 plus 1/2 multiplied by acceleration, which is 2.5 meters squared, 2.5 meters per second squared, multiplied by time s squared. Okay. Okay. Now we will now just multiply both. 10 seconds squared is 100 seconds multiplied by 2.5 meter per second squared times 1/2. Again, just continue with the formula, with the equation. 2.5 meter per second squared times 100 is 250 meter per second. Kasi cancel. Multiplied by 1/2. There. Kita. And we will proceed as such. Final distance is equal to 1/2 times 250 will equal to 125 meter per second. So 125 meter per second is the final answer or the final distance of this problem.